Sydney, Melbourne, Hobart, Adelaide, but now we're getting close to Queensland's midnight moment. The countdown tells the story and indicates the relentless advance of 2000 on the Northern Territory and WA, both still some way off. In a moment we take you to Brisbane, but first a word from a Queensland and an Australian icon.
The question of what I would like to see in the new millennium, such a big one that I find it rather difficult. But I think back to 1939. I was very poor and more or less friendless in those days. And King George VI said, and I remember his words, he said, I said to the man that stood at the gate of the year, give me a light that I might go safely into the unknown. And he replied, go out into the darkness, put your hand into the hand of God, and it shall be to you better than a light and safer than a known way. I've come a long way since 1939, of course. I think of all the cities of the world where my name's in front of the public and how we export to the world. We are still a nation of pioneers. There's so much to do. There's water to be sent to the southern cities who will perish ultimately without water, such as Adelaide and Perth, and there's ample water in the north which can be transported from places like Lake Argyle. There's still railroads to be built, and the empty Australia has to be utilised. If we do not do it, somebody else will. Well, I remember quite well a hard-working old shearer who was a gun shearer. He had a favourite poem which I've kept in mind. I was never a great believer in the thing that men call luck, for it takes hard downright digging ere a vein of gold be struck. Dame Fortune may be fickle, but none of us can deny that she loves to lay her treasures at the feet of those who try. Yes, that's my message to the young people.
And of course, as many millions will do all over the world today and tomorrow, in the day to come, Queenslanders are also arriving at their New Year's resolutions. Some of them shared them for our cameras.
The next thing we're going to be doing, I was telling you that you need to put the gaffer tape on extremely tight. You also need to wrap it around really well in the corners.
That's the charge, kids. Half a pound of black powder in a cotton bag round a bit of Kool-Aid. We're just going to put it here on the ramrod. We'll tape it on, cheat a little bit so that it doesn't fall over.
I'd really love for all the Australians to get more Olympic seats to all the events. We hardly got any.
Without it falling over and having to panic about getting it back out again. All right? Now we push this right down till it's home. Then we put a spike into that little bag down this hole here. That's to hold it while I pull the ramrod back out.
One of my dreams was to stop wars around the world, and the other one was to go to the Olympics and watch the swimming.
For someone to cure all the viruses and diseases around the world. And I'd really like people to let our peacekeepers come home for Christmas in the year 2000. I think they'd like that too.
Just twist the ramrod round a couple of times to break the tape. Okay.
No more taxes, Australia's own president, and no more poverty.
No more bills. They cost too much, especially fuel bills.
Now, what we've got here is the wadding, which is just shredded paper with some fish and chip oil in it. Makes it smell good. Also gives the barrel a bit of oil, stop it rusting. So we just pack this down tight. The tighter we pack it, the louder the bang.
They could get like solar cars and all that and stop all the pollution.
I like Cooktown just as a small place. You don't have to worry about strangers. You can ride your bike around the town.
Happy Millennium Australia from Cooktown! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1!
quite yet. Almost, not quite for Queensland. But of course you're watching 2000 Today, really the most ambitious live world television event in history. I know that's some claim, but it's we believe it to be the case. Over 60 nations are taking part in this at a totally unprecedented level of cooperation. And as you know, we of course are moving westward, all up for over 25 and a half hours from the first seconds of the new century in the Pacific Islands, which we certainly went through quite a few hours ago, to the last light of the 20th century in Western Samoa. 60 satellite paths are transmitting as broadcasters from all around show how the world is celebrating the arrival of this new year. Well, as I said, we've done a lot of talking about Queensland's midnight, now the moment. So it's nice to be going to my hometown. Glasses are now charged across the great state. Old Lang Syne is about to get its annual airing in Queensland. Now, to take us through events from Brisbane, Peter Lewis. Peter, how are you again?
Maxine, fantastic. It's a tremendous build-up to the new year here. We've seen the scenes from other places, but now it's about to happen here in Brisbane. It's a tremendous night. As I said, it's been wonderful weather today, and it's attracted people from all over the world, including one person who's probably come further than most. Alex, how far have you come?
Hi, I've come from South England, Portsmouth.
And you certainly wouldn't be in the bathers and in the swimming pool over there this time of year, would you?
Certainly not. No, it'd be probably raining and really miserable, probably -2 or something, yeah.
Now, what's brought you to Brisbane?
Well, I'm searching the world for my soulmate, but I'm also basically travelling around as well.
Well, there's 150 to 200,000 people here at Southbank. You might find them.
I hope so, somewhere.
Now, you're also looking for a job. You want to turn this into a bit of a working holiday?
Yeah, I got a work visa, and I'm basically wanting to get some work, so... you know, and travel on as far as I can for, like, I don't know, even up to a year.
Now, any special New Year's wish, any new resolutions, being so far away from home, anything special about that?
Nothing much, really. No, I haven't thought of any New Year's resolutions, but one is I'm going to try harder. She's out there, I know that.
Fantastic. Well, enjoy your stay in Australia, and all the best for the new year.
Excellent, thank you. I'll see you later.
Fantastic.
I like
He's
that,
off.
Peter.
And of course,
searching for a soulmate mate on Southbank. That's rather nice, isn't it?
Well,
it's got a ring to it.
romantic,
Searching for a
Maxine.
soulmate on Southbank.
They're all out there. You just have to find them. Now, hopefully everybody that's here tonight, as I said, we're at a man-made beach right in the middle of Sydney, in the city. Hopefully everybody can swim as well as Alex, but just in case they can't, there's an army of surf lifesavers are here. Belinda, it's a massive effort by a lot of volunteers to just keep this place safe, isn't it?
It is. It's very hectic here tonight. I think half of Brisbane's here, so we're being kept very busy.
Is it so far so good? Everybody behaving themselves? No major incidents?
Most people, not too much around the pool, but a few first aid cases we've had to attend to.
Tremendous. And I think the fireworks, of course, signal New Year's. Any special resolutions for you?
Just to behave myself.
And are you a Queenslander? Is this home for you?
Yes, it is.
And is it a special time, special build-up? You've been here working around the Southbank Parklands now for a couple of years. A lot of changes here, a lot of money being spent to upgrade it and make it more accessible for more Queenslanders. Exciting place to work?
Yes, definitely. I think anything's exciting at this time of year, let alone an establishment like this.
There it is. And as you can hear, it's all happening here in Brisbane. We might have had to wait an hour or so, but we're right into it.
Looking at the fireworks there over the banks of the Brisbane River from the vantage of Southbank. Peter, I'm waiting for some big action on the water there.
It's all scheduled to sort of happen over through there. In fact, right round from Southbank right through to the Story Bridge, an area, of course, you would know, a couple of kilometres of river area. And by now, there's about 500,000 people that have crammed every available vantage point between here and Kangaroo Point to get the best views.
I can believe it. I think I can hear every one of the 500,000.
They're having a great time. The most amazing thing about this is huge crowd, but moving among them over the last couple of hours, very good natured. Everybody has put up with the inconvenience of having to be here for hours. There's been some great entertainment. The crowd is good, as I said. The weather is perfect for this sort of thing, and everybody's really heeded the messages to come along, party in the right sort of spirit. And it's fantastic to see. And as Belinda said, they were catering for a pretty big crowd here tonight, and so far so good. It's been really good. There's been no major incidents anywhere. Nobody's gone into the river. There hasn't been any problems like that. So the party's going off without a hitch. And we obviously have breezed through the Y2K problem without a hitch as well. Oh, good. That one got very close.
Well, Peter, I think that's been the spirit around the country. It's been enthusiasm and ebullience, but
well, indeed,
a bit of considered restraint as well. So that's good, especially when there are so many people crowding into the capital cities to see these sorts of fireworks.
And as you would know, that's pretty much a trademark of Queenslanders. They're pretty relaxed, pretty laid back, pretty confident, optimistic sort of people, and that's the spirit you get moving among people tonight. Is not so much apprehension about the new year, but anticipation, a lot of confidence. And of course, this is a pretty go-ahead part of Australia.
It's a terrific show. Yeah, it's a terrific show. Just looking at it here, Peter, and I feel I'm there with you.
Fantastic. No, it is. It's a great. A lot of people like Alex have made their way to Brisbane, and of course, Brisbane is a magnet for people from all over Australia that have come and moved here. I'm a transplanted Queenslander, came up from the south. And the place has got an energy about it which does get you in, and it's not just when the fireworks on, it's here all the time. It's really going places.
Peter, I think Premier Peter Beattie must have you on the staff, has he?
Well, as you know, Max, we just picked up the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting for 2001 today from the ACT. I know they're a bit upset about that, but that's another feather in Queensland's cap. And of course, Queensland's like to do things big, and like to do things a bit differently. That's why we've still held out against daylight saving. We get to party just a bit longer than everybody down there in the south.
That's as good enough an explanation as I've heard. Peter, Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year to everyone in Queensland. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Maxine. Have a good one.
And I've got to take this opportunity to say Happy New Year to my mother, my sister and my niece in Brisbane. There you go, the family's up there. Just before we go on tonight, a quick recap of some colossal news stories, quite frankly, that have broken in the last couple of hours. If you have been tuning in, you will know that, in fact, Boris Yeltsin has quit as Russia's first democratically elected president. In a dramatic televised address to the nation tonight, Mr. Yeltsin said it was time for him to go, and he asked forgiveness for his mistakes. Prime Minister Vladimir Putin will succeed him until elections in 90 days' time. That's March in 2000. And of course, in Afghanistan, all the hostages on board that Indian Airlines jet have been freed. What a wonderful new year for them. They're expected to be flown to New Delhi shortly, ending an 8-day ordeal. It started Christmas Eve for all those, for the 160 hostages. The hijackers have been given 10 hours to leave Afghanistan after Indian officials agreed to their demands to free 3 Muslim militants. And ABC correspondent Tim Lester is in the southern city of Kandahar, the southern Afghan city of Kandahar. And of course, we will talk to him at some stage, perhaps in the next hour or so. Well, as we say goodbye to the 1900s, as we have certainly now on the east coast of Australia, we can pause to reflect.